Abusia Alban Smani Backben ade se enei ode nsem bia todwa afa President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ho abusia ano ode paye pa ne nya ne se wo kyeremu a eye no nwanwa se President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo enya akwanya se wo kasa ode todwa se enya ade se 2024 elections no NDC ewini anase NPP lusu a omo be hand over power e de ama NDC nenu ena after say speaker suspended parliament speaker ene nsemtrefo atwetwe nkomo a ode nsem bia todwa a chese wo kire se eya numdwa keke ena president ekeka na no nwanwa pa se President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo odi politics echiache pa enti se obetima gina nipa dom anim no akeka sansem ne se enya ade se omubeje power mu so omu lusu a ene abusua brofo de odi bia gu honom akeka bi e de akire o mampanyin pa,
particularly His Excellency the President, who started politics at a very early age because of his parenthood, and who was an activist in the CPP party, grew up to be the president of Kwame Nkrumah Youth Forum, and after the 1966 election, joined the United Party, Progress Party, now MPP, to come out after all that experience, a legal luminary, to say such a thing, that is inciting people to violence.
Okay.
That even if we lost the election, we will not hand over. We will do all we can to hold on to power. That is unacceptable. I was really shocked to hear that, because His Excellency the President knows that the power he's holding is not his. It's for the people, particularly the voters. And the people voted and gave him that power. Once they vote you out, he even is ending his 8 years period. At the 6th of January 2025, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has no such power. He knows that if he orders the CDS on the 7th of January 1992 to do anything, he will not do it.
My understanding of what you're saying, really...
He has no such power, so it's just an empty boast. Brutum fulmin. He cannot. He will not have that power. It's the person that the people have now voted for that have been given the power. And the people looking at that person, not him. So either is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or His Excellency Dr.
Mahmoud Bawumia.
Mahmoud Bawumia.
You do not think that...
So those are the people that will have power, and those are the people that Ghanaians will now be listening to, not to him. So he has nothing, not even an empty shell. What we do is just a ceremony to show that power has now shifted from the former to the newly elected person.
You do not think that those comments were deep expressions of, I really wish that Bawumia would take over the reins of power from me?
You just said it. What prevented him from using that same language? It's my wish that MPP should win the elections and Bawumia will take over from me. But if you go and say categorically, I will not hand over power, as if the power is still in your hands. But by that time, it's not in his hands.
You just gave his history there, where he started from before he even became president.
Yeah.
Would you say that that comment was irresponsible, and he's repeated it?
Well, His Excellency knows better. You know, in mature democracies, they will take actions more than what we will do. That would have soiled all his records as a politician. You know, and all those descriptions people make of him in terms of law and the defense of human rights or the media, and also his record as a president. This cancels out all. It doesn't show that he's a Democrat and that he believes in multi-party democracy.
If I hear what you're saying, you were disappointed when you heard that.
Very, in fact, I was shocked was at least expected His Excellency to say such a thing.
But in addition to that, you just brought to the fore again a statement made by Bryan Acheampong, and he's repeated it. He's a member of parliament, a parliament you oversee. Have you done anything about it? How do you see that, first of all?
Bryan Acheampong is scarcely in parliament. You see, that is another thing that we have to do. You see, political leadership is a different ball game. You just don't trust untried and untested hands straight from birth into leadership position.
How do you
They
mean?
have to be groomed. They have to be tutored. They have to be mentored. They have to grow to it. They must have hands-on experience. And so the system we are running is a system that is damaging the growth of this country.
Bryan doesn't
Where
have the
peop-
experience.
Where? In politics? Zero. He just elected as a member of parliament and is made a cabinet minister. He has no knowledge about the public sector, about governance, about politics, and he is now going to lead a whole sector. He has never handled such power before, and therefore they think that they are the alpha and the omega.
So you think that's what's
That is
influencing how
what-
he's behaving?
Not only him, a number of our people in politics now. You know, as they grow, they will learn that what they did were wrong. And they were really undermining their own authority and relevance.
Won't it be too late?
Very late, and that's one of the causes of our underdevelopment. Many countries who have made it have taken the time to evolve. And the evolution is not only about systems, it's also about human beings. And so we just don't take those decisions lightly. That you're given the opportunity to lead the country. If you want to bring up, definitely there's growth, there's replacement. We must always go with the youth. We must go with everybody. But you give them the position to grow. Okay? Once we keep on just cutting corners and doing what is happening now, we can never develop as a nation.
We can never develop as a nation, you say. We're talking about inflammatory comments and languages or language ahead of this year's general election. And I know that you also heard the bit said by the former president, John Mahama, who is leading the opposition NDC, when he said, and he said it a number of times as well, that we will make sure that this election is not stolen, and this time we are not going to court. How did you understand this comment?
The first part deals with vigilance and ensuring that the right thing is done. That this time around, what happened in 2020, where brute force was used at some stations to take away the decision of the people, we will not allow that to happen again. Which meant that there's a loss of trust in the process and in the Electoral Commission. And so if the Electoral Commission is not going to take up the mantle together with the other stakeholders, particularly the security agencies led by the Ghana Police Service. And note, it is not Ghana Police Force. It is Ghana Police Service. And they are to deal with the maintenance of law and order. And you don't just maintain law and order by force. No, that is not it. But unfortunately, that is where we are. And they are the key institution to maintain law and order. The military has no business, when we are doing elections, to be present until law and order breaks down and they are called in.
So you want them to stay off?
Completely. I have stated it a number of times that we would not want to see our military moving around. They have to be at positions that they could be called to intervene when the need arises.
But already you know that the military have been deployed. I mean, officials have been deployed to border towns to enforce even this ban on exportation of the country's grains because of the drought in 7 regions of the country.
That is catastrophic and a complete exaggeration of the situation, just to create a platform to go in for a facility. And who knows how that facility will be applied. That is my honest view.
What do you mean by facility?
A credit facility in terms of money or in terms of food items. Is that kind of thing?
The NDC thinks it's an attempt to intimidate voters around that place.
You see, people really don't understand the situation we are in. The Ghanaian voter can no longer be intimidated. We saw what happened in Kenya. We saw what happened in Nigeria. Ghana is not immune to it. I was a young man in Legon during the regime of President General Acheampong. And that was the time they brought in the MOWACs to support the police. They were blue in color. We faced the MOWACs with our bodies, not even with sticks, empty hands. Some of us were killed, but we fought and managed to turn this country to democratic Ghana. The people are not afraid of the military. How many are they in this country? How many are the people? How many bullets do they have? How many were they killed? How many of them will survive? We've seen it before from country to country. So if there's any intention of using the military to threaten and intimidate the voter, they better think twice.